And we're going to be on page 97 in your grammar book. So go ahead and turn to 97. Almost to 100. You're going to reach page 100 this week in your homework. I think we're about halfway through. You guys have been working hard in this book. We're going to learn something new today, but the good news is this isn't the only time you're going to hear this or the only time you're going to practice this, because you're also eventually going to start using these in your writing part of the class too. This is the grammar part of the class. So anyway, we are going to talk about sentence openers. And well, you already know what a sentence is, and you already know what the word open is. An opener, excuse me, is at the beginning of a sentence. Okay, so if you go to like a concert and they have an opening band, you know, it might not be the main band or singer, but it could be somebody traveling with them. So it's like at the beginning of the concert. Sorry, I got a little tickle in my throat. So anyway, in writing, a sentence opener is the beginning of the sentence. And guess what? If you learn these openers, different ones, you're going to learn 3 in this book. And if you start using that in your writing, it's going to give your writing more style. That's the whole point of my class, because you guys both are already great writers. Even the first day you came to my class, you were already solid writers. So this class is taking your writing to the next level and giving it more style, right? So it's not plain. It's like, it's got some pizzazz, okay, if you could say it that way. So we're learning dress ups, all of those little dress ups that we do, they add style to your writing. And then topic clinchers, that adds style to your writing. And now we're going to start learning about sentence openers. So when you learn these, you can start your sentence differently each time with a different opener. And then you'll notice, wow, your writing has even more style. So this is the next step here. So it says at the top, this is page 97, sentence openers are descriptive words, phrases, and clauses that are added to the beginning of a sentence. Using different sentence openers makes writing more interesting or have more style, okay? In this book, you will learn 3 types of sentence openers, 3 ways to open or begin a sentence. After you mark a sentence, determine if the sentence begins with an opener that you know. If it does, mark it. Do not mark questions or quoted sentences. So the first one we're going to learn is actually the number 1, and it's called subject opener. Okay, so number 1 is subject opener. A number 1 subject opener is a sentence that begins with a subject of the sentence. Now I'm going to pause there because you guys know what that is. When you look for verbs, we usually look for the verbs or the action words first, and then we label the subjects. So those are who or what the sentence is talking about. So when you start with a subject, that adds style to your writing. Now, you don't want every sentence to start with a subject, just a few here and there. So we're going to practice finding these first in this book, and then later we're going to practice using it in our own writing. Sometimes an article, you guys know what those are. A, an, and the, those are the articles. Or an adjective, you know what those are too. Those are the ones that describe the noun. So it could be which one or how many or what kind, those types of words that answer those questions. Sometimes those will come before the subject, but the sentence is still a number 1 subject opener. So look at the first example. It's kind of a gray color type right here. Timmy jumped into the hole. Timmy jumped into the hole. So this sentence begins with the subject, Timmy. We know Timmy, he's the mouse in the story, right? It is a number one subject opener. So this one's obvious, okay? Timmy is literally the first word of the sentence. Timmy is the one that jumped into the hole. So jumped is the verb and Timmy is the subject. Easy, right? It's the first word of the sentence. Sometimes, look at the next example. Sometimes there's an article at the beginning and sometimes an adjective. So if I read this sentence here, it says the 3 mice jumped into the hole. So we have the article the adjective 3, that tells how many, and then the subject mice. Even though there's 2 words ahead of it, the first word, the first part of this sentence is the subject. So it says it has an article and adjective before the subject. It is still a number one subject opener. Okay. So you're looking at the beginning of the sentence when you're identifying these. And luckily right now, you only have one that you have to remember, and it happens to be number one, subject opener. Do you guys remember the openers in class last time you took class with me? We learned this I keep saying last year, but the last time you took class with me. Anyway, hopefully you're remembering some of these things. To label the opener, you're going to write a number 1 with a circle around it, like that, above the first word of the sentence that starts the subject opener. So here's an example. Timmy crept into bed. Timmy is the subject, and they labeled it with a number 1 and a circle around it. I always like to add the word subject next to it, just as a reminder for you. And then the verb is crept. Crept just means like to creep, tiptoe, to creep in bed. But in the past tense, it's crept. So look at the second example here. Poor Timmy could not sleep. So here we have an adjective describing Timmy, poor Timmy. But it's still considered a subject opener, so we'll still label it with a number 1. And then Timmy's the subject, and then could and sleep are the 2 verbs in that sentence. Okay, let's move on to the practice page. This is page 99. Does anybody feel like reading it this morning? Yay, okay, Chloe, go for it.
Timmy was happier in the country because he rarely noticed loud or sudden sounds there.
Okay, good. That's really good reading, and that last word there is awkward, isn't it? Because it's spelled wrong. That's what I noticed right away. But before we get into that, let's look at the vocabulary word is rarely. Rarely just means not often. Rare is another word for not often. Okay, just every once in a while. So let's put a check by that. And then because it's bugging me, I don't know about you, but it's bugging me. This word there is not spelled correctly. So Harmony, do you know how we should spell there? What kind of there should go here?
Can you tell her what you're
There.
How do
Okay.
you spell it?
E-R-E.
Good. T-H-E-R-E. That's right. And remember, the clue is if you take off that T and you see here, that's your clue that it's pointing to a place, right? So sudden sounds there is in a place. Okay, good. So we'll put a check by homophone because I needed to get that out of the way. And then of course your articles up here, you can find, there's only one. Find it and put AR. And then I'm going to come back to Chloe when you're ready. Tell us where the nouns are. There's 3 nouns.
Timmy,
Yeah.
country,
Yes.
Sounds.
Good, you got it. That was a little bit tricky, but you're right. Sounds is a noun, even though it's something you hear. Some people might think it's a verb, but it's actually a noun. It's a thing. And then the pronoun, Harmony, how about that? Where is the pronoun?
He.
Good. That was kind of short, so I'm going to have you do the next one too, Harmony. How about the adjective? So you can look at those nouns and see what word is the adjective before it.
Loud.
Yes, good. Loud is one. Describing the sounds.
Can you tell her first before you write them? Just tell her all three. Stunning.
I think she said sudden. Is that what you said? Harmony? Okay, good. Yes, sudden is one. And there's one more.
What's the last one? Did you find it? Happier.
Yes. And that's describing Timmy. He was happier. That's it. That's an emotion or a feeling word, right? So good. Back to Chloe. What about the ly adverb?
Rarely.
Yep. That was easy peasy cheesy. Chloe, how about the coordinating conjunction?
Is or one?
Yes, it is. Remember fanboys. Or is the O in fanboys. Okay, so we got a couple coming up here. You might already know those, but what I like to do is skip some of those. I'm going to skip prepositional phrases. I'm going to skip the adverb clause. And I'm going to head down here to the verb, the subject verb pairs, because when I get that out of the way, it helps me see everything. So how about Harmony? Where are the verbs? Start with that.
Tell her you have to talk. Was.
Good. There's one more. What's the other verb?
Noticed.
Nice,
Nice.
good. That's right, was and noticed. Good. And now let's look for those subjects that match those or pair with those, Chloe. What goes with was? Who's the subject there?
Timmy.
Good, Timmy. And then how about noticed?
He.
Good. Awesome, you guys. Okay. I think the adverb clause is pretty easy to find. Remember, that's the Asia word. www.asia.b. So Harmony, where is that adverb clause?
Where's that one? This one. Where? Where's it start? Because. Okay.
Yes.
And then where does it read her the whole thing? Because he really noticed loud or sudden sounds. Where?
Good. All the way to the end. Very good. Starts with because. That's the Asia word, .b. We're going to label this AC for adverb clause. And then the prepositional phrase, Chloe, where is that? There's just one in here.
In the country.
Nice, good. That's the only word that doesn't have anything yet is in the country. And then we've got an opener. I bet you guys know what it is because we only know one so far. So Harmony, what kind of an opener do we have here? Remember what it's called?
Do you remember it? What did we talk about? Subject opening.
There you go. Good. Yeah. And that S right here is your clue because we already labeled that S for subject. So this is what we're going to do. Write number one with a circle and then put the word subject. If you want to make yours straight, that's okay with me. I wrote at an angle for some reason. So sometimes I do. Nice. Capital. Which one should be capitalized, Chloe?
Timmy.
Good. Harmony, we have a comma rule here. We're either going to put one in or take one out. What do you think we should do?
get to the comma. What'd you do to it?
Take it out.
Disappear.
Disappear. Okay. Did you take this one out right here after loud? Is that what you did?
Did you take this one out?
Yes.
Yes, good. That is correct. So the reason is because you're only listing two things here, loud and sudden. When there's two, you don't need a comma. If there's three, you do, but not for two. And then Chloe, what goes at the very end here?
A period.
A period. Easy peasy cheesy. Pumpkin squeezy. Okay. You did it. Man, you girls are like on it. I'm impressed at you. Okay. We're done with grammar. So now let's get out the binder. Next. Here's my thing here. And you guys worked on the report about Louis Pasteur. That guy. Interesting guy from France. So we're finished with that. So what we're going to do is put that away. So go ahead and open your binders. If you're all the way done with your report, go ahead and put it behind finished compositions. If you're still working on it, you got some things to do still, then leave it in the front pocket for until you're finished with it, okay? But behind finished compositions is where you'll put Louis Pasteur. And then before you get out the next week though, we have something we need to do because we have a new band word this week. So we might as well take care of that while we're in our binders. So go back here after you put away Louis Pasteur. I want you to flip back all the way toward the back here behind band words. This one. Band words. And then you should see a blue page. Yours has words on it already. Mine's blank because I only have one copy, so I keep it clean. So Harmony, what do you have on your blue page so far at the top of each of these columns? What do you have there, Harmony? At the top of each column, once you find it.
Up here.
Say said.
Good,
See saw.
good,
Go went.
okay,
Think thought.
good. And that's it. Is that what you have too, Chloe?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So we should be down here on this bottom column next. And we are going to add eat /8. Eat /8. And you might be thinking, what? Why are we banning eat and 8? Well, because in this next story, I bet you're going to be talking about eating, and it's going to challenge you to think of a different way to say eat or ate. A lot of times we write almost all the time we write in past tense because it's just easier. So let's think of past tense for ate. What are some words that we can write on here to use instead of ate? You guys have any ideas?
Consume.
Ooh,
Consume.
consume. Yes, consume is a good one. If you think of a word, just go ahead and unmute and say it. Consume is a good.
Munch.
Yeah, munch. There you go. I like that. What about gobble? If you're hungry, you're going to gobble up something, right?
Yeah.
Gobble up your juicy hamburger. I'm hungry.
Two.
Can you think of any, Harmony? Another way to say 8?
Nibble.
Ooh, nibble. I like it.
Oh,
How about devour?
Oh yeah.
Devour. Or digest. Whoops. I missed that one, Harmony. Can you say it one more time?
pick.
Pick? Is that what you said? Pick?
Oh,
Did you say
Yeah.
pick?
the
She's
Pick.
reading and talking.
Oh,
She's reading
okay.
out loud and talking.
Did she say pick? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm adding at, like pick at, maybe. I don't know. Pick at the, like if you're not really hungry or you don't really like it, is that what you're thinking, Harmony? Like you just kind of pick at it a little bit?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Mm,
50% of her dinners.
Oh, no. Oh, man. That's rough. Yeah, that's okay. You have to get creative, huh?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good start here. We got quite a few. So remember, there's always other ways you can find words if you have a thesaurus at home. That's a book like a dictionary that has synonyms and antonyms, but you really want to look at the synonyms. Those are the words that mean pretty much the same thing. If your parents are okay with it, you can use Google. And sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I just go to Google and I just type in another word for 8 or another word for run or something, and that's a good way too, but always check with your parents before you use Google. Anyway, good job. We're going to leave this list in here so you know where it's at. If you go to your writing later this week for homework, you can come back to this page to get some ideas, okay? So now we're going to get out week 10 from the front of your binder behind source text tab.
You know how my mom only put in 9 weeks?
How she put in 9 weeks?
So like at the beginning of the class, my mom only put in 9 weeks.
Oh, so you don't have 10 in there?
No.
Okay, is your mom at home? Can you go ask her where it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, go do that real quick. We'll wait for you. Okay, so we're gonna get out week 10. See, I gotta get mine out too here. Starts on 93. Oh, just kidding. No, it does not. I'm messed up here. Hold on a second.
85.
85. Okay, thank you for that. Let's see. Yes, 85, 87, 89, and 91. Okay, I'm with you now. It's called dining.
I have to get my binders to make and put it in.
Okay. Okay. And today we don't need a lined piece of paper. So just these pages is all we need for today. I'm going to give Chloe a second. It looks like she's looking for stuff. Do you remember last time we did class together, Harmony? Remember when you wrote a story looking at pictures? Remember doing that a while back? Like the one I'm thinking of, I think we did together was writing about a drone, like a boy that opens a box and we don't know what he got. right? And you wrote a story about him. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It's okay if you don't remember.
Yes.
Oh, good, you do. Okay, because I know it's been a while since we wrote that one, but we're gonna do some more of that. Did you find it, Chloe?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is the first page, week 10 dining. So actually what I want you to do is, before we look at this, I forgot, I was going to ask you some questions. Okay. So, we're done with unit 4. Unit 4 was summarizing a reference. Remember, we did a couple articles about people and things like that. And it was more academic writing. Okay. Now we're going to move into creative writing, which is pretty fun because you get to make up the story. So a lot of times when people do writing, they either tend to like creative writing or academic writing. Do you guys have a preference? Do you like writing reports or do you like writing made up stories? Which ones do you like better, Chloe? I'll start with you. You like writing reports or you like writing made up stories with characters and stuff?
Made up stories.
Okay. How about you, Harmony? You like to write reports or made up stories?
Reports.
One of each in here. I have to say I like to write reports myself too. So Chloe, you're going to love the next couple of weeks because you get to be creative and make up names and characters and scenarios and all that kind of fun stuff. And you get to be just let your mind go not crazy, but have fun with it. So when we write a creative story, we have to think. Do you guys remember how we think? How do you think? It's kind of a weird question, but do you remember how we think? So sometimes if I were to just say, Chloe, think of something, anything, think of anything, what would you say? Unmute.
Pancakes.
Pancakes. Okay, good. You're probably hungry, so you're thinking of pancakes. Now, how do you know about pancakes? How did that come to your mind? Well, you're probably hungry, number one, but what are pancakes? I know what they are, but I'm just pretending. I'm asking you, what are pancakes, Chloe?
Pancakes is like it's batter and then you cook it and then it is in a flat shape and then it's like cooked dough. And then you can put on top of it.
You put syrup on top of it and butter. That was a great explanation of what it is, but how did you know that? How did you know what pancakes are? Have you ever had them before?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've eaten them before. Have you ever made them before or helped make them? Yeah.
Mhm.
So guess what? That's already in your brain. So when you have experience with something like that, it's already in your brain and it stays there. That's the cool thing about our brains is we have this memory. So when you experience something or you taste something or you do something, it's in your brain. You remember it, right? But when we write a story, we have to access things that are already in our brains because that's how we think. Anytime we think, you probably don't even realize it, but you're looking into your brain and remembering things that you already know. Maybe you learned it from a book, or maybe you learned it from your mom or your dad or a teacher. All the information that you have in your brain came from somewhere. So to access that information in our brains, we have to do something. We have to ask ourselves questions. You guys remember that? When we think about, so when I said, what is a pancake? You thought, what is a pancake? Well, it's dough, it's flat, it's cooked, like all those things. You started answering those questions of what it is, right? You didn't realize that, it just happened naturally. But anytime you guys think, that's what you're doing. So part of this class is kind of cool, I think, because you actually get to practice thinking and you get to understand how to think. And this is a skill that's going to help you all the way through school, all the way through high school, all the way, if you go to college, all the way through college, and then beyond that, your entire life, you will use your thinking skills. And a lot of teachers don't talk about that because they just automatically assume you know what you're doing. But if you know what steps you're taking when you're thinking, it helps you even learn more. So if somebody tells you information at any time in your life and you ask yourself, what does that mean? And where did that come from? And how did that person know what that was? And all of those questions are good in life, okay? You don't always just want to take somebody's information and believe it. You got to ask yourself some questions, unless it's your mom or your dad, because they always know, okay? Your mom and dad, that's your best source of information right there. Anybody beyond that, you want to ask yourself, well, what does that mean? And why are they telling me this? And how did they know that? Or where did they find their information? All of those questions are really good for you guys to know to think. Okay. So you're going to be practicing those thinking skills and asking yourself questions as you do this creative writing. By the way, I do have to say, your mom and dad, they're kind of like right next to each other in asking you questions, right? And in telling you information. So just know that that's how they get information out of you too. Like, where were you 5 minutes ago? Or why do you have chocolate on your cheek? Or, so they know, right? But they're asking you questions to see if you know the answer, right? Okay, let's look at the page with the pictures. It's on page 87. Page 87 in the little packet that you just took out of your binder. Okay, got some pictures here. You guys probably remember from my class before the 3 pictures, and then you have the little outline already set up for you on these pages. So, but the first thing I want you to do on this page, just so you have it easy to find, and you might have to write kind of small, but I want you to use this space on top here, okay? So make sure you write kind of small up here, because I do want you to write the big 6 questions. So do you remember what those question words are? They're the first word of a question. You guys remember what those big 6 questions are?
Who, what, where, when, why, how?
Good. So I'm going to start over here and put who, and then what. Good, Chloe. And when. We're going to have to squeeze these in. If you don't have enough room, you can use the back of this page if that's easier for you, okay? Who, what, when, where, why, how. And then just for fun, I'm going to put these big question marks in here after these. When you think of a story, you will need to have these question words ready for you. That's why I wanted you to write it on this page. This is going to help you come up with a story. Now, this is a tricky question. Do you guys remember the extra questions that we wanted to ask when telling a story? There's some extra ones that we used to think about. The first one is outside. Now, I don't mean literally outside where the trees are. I mean outside of the box. So when you're looking at a picture, maybe there's more people sitting at this table, but we don't see them because they're on the outside of this box. Maybe there's a whole bunch of people there, but we only see these 2. Okay, so that's one question you could ask, like, what's happening outside of the box? What is, remember this one, invisible? Maybe there's a giant crowd of people behind them, we just don't see them in the picture. Or maybe there's Christmas trees behind them. Maybe it's the Christmas meal or something, and we just don't see them. So think about things that could possibly be invisible. I'm going to put a question mark by those two, and then I'm going to list two more words over here. Before and after. And then a question mark there. So we got all these question marks and then these words here. Who, what, when, where, why, how, outside, invisible, before, after. That's all of them. So when I say before and after, maybe when you look at the first picture, you might think, well, what happened right before this picture? Or if you're down here at the bottom, you might think, well, what's going to happen after that? We don't know. We have the three. We have the beginning, middle, and end of the story, basically. But you can add to that by asking yourself these questions before and after. Okay. Look at right here next to that Roman numeral 1. It says central fact. Do you guys see where it says that on your page there? Central fact. Central fact means what is actually happening in the picture, like what you see in the picture. So we're going to start with that. Looking at this first picture, let's just talk about it before we write anything down. But Harmony, I'll start with you on this. What do you see in this picture? Just looking at the top picture only.
What do you see?
Look at the menu.
Okay, there's a menu. They're holding menus. What else do you see, Harmony?
Candles.
Candles, good. What else?
Couple.
A couple. You see a boy and a girl. Maybe they're a couple. That's a good one. What else do you see?
A table.
A table, good. Or is that what you said before? Did she say couple earlier?
Yeah. Yeah.
She did.
Couple.
Okay, okay, got it.
Uh-huh.
And a table, good. Harmony, what else do you see?
A restaurant.
Okay, they probably are in a restaurant. Right here on the table is another little thing. Do you know what? Can you see that? On the table here?
Rose.
Yeah, a little rose or a flower of some kind. I see a chair, so she's sitting in a chair. I'm guessing that's a girl because she has long hair and it kind of looks like she's wearing earrings and a necklace and a bracelet. Do you see that too, Harmony?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then I kind of see on the boy, maybe he's wearing a bow tie. Can you see that? It's kind of hard to see over his menu right there, but it looks like a bow tie.
A bow tie.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna guess, I think you're right, they're at a restaurant, but it's not McDonald's. Doesn't look like McDonald's to me. What kind of a restaurant do you think it is, Harmony?
Rancho Grande restaurant.
I love it. Some fancy place, huh? I heard grande. What was the first word you said, Harmony?
What you call it?
Rancho Grande.
Rancho Grande? Is that what you said? Rancho Grande?
Yep.
Yep.
I love it. It looks like a nice restaurant. We're not talking about Taco Bell or McDonald's or something like that. We're talking, well, they're dressed up like they're at a nice restaurant. So, okay, good. So now here's where we can start putting in the central fact some of that information, and we can include who do you think, you said these were maybe a couple. Do you think they're friends, or do you think they're dating, or are they married? What kind of couple do you think these are?
Dating.
You think they're dating maybe? And looks like a boy and a girl. Okay. So here's the next thing. And Chloe, I'm going to give you a second to, I'm going to have you do the next picture actually, but you guys can make up names for these people. And to me, it looks like a boy and a girl. So what kind of a
Tom
name?
and Chloe.
Tom, I think you said. And then what was the girl's name?
Tom and Angela.
And Angela. I thought you said Chloe for a second. I was like, oh. Tom and Angela. Now, Chloe, you can make up your own names. Okay. And you guys can each make up your own situation and story here. So I'm going to put Tom, Angela, and they're on a date, right? Tom and Angela are on a date. Now, if you want to write it different than that, Chloe, you can, okay? This is where you get to be creative. Now from here, we're going to do just like we do with the keyword outline. We are going to put 3 words, 3 keywords to help us remember the plot or the part, you know, how the story is going to go. So we're going to brainstorm together. But like I said, Harmony's story is going to be a little different than Chloe's story. So this is where we can ask some of these questions up here about what's going on, just looking at this first picture. So the first picture connects to this outline up here at the top. Okay, so Tom and Angela are on a date. Rancho Grande, I kind of like that. Maybe we should have that. I really like that. Rancho Grande is the name of the restaurant. And they're deciding on their dinner, right, Harmony? They're looking at the menu. What word can we put by Rancho Grande with what they're... Well, let me ask you this. What kind of a restaurant is Rancho Grande? Is it fancy, Harmony? Is it a fancy restaurant?
A Mexican.
A Mexican restaurant, of course. What was I thinking? Well, a Mexican restaurant can also be fancy. It's a fancy Mexican restaurant. There you go. Man, I'm getting really hungry now. I love Mexican food. Okay, from here, let's see what time we got. Oh yeah, we're good. What are they looking at, Harmony? What are they actually looking at here?
Menus.
Menus. So maybe they're deciding on what they're going to eat.
Chicken quesadilla.
A chicken quesadilla. There you go. I'm looking at their faces. Did you notice like the expressions on their faces here? To me, the guy kind of looks like his eyes are big. Right? He's got kind of like, he raises his eyebrows a little bit. He's looking at his menu, his eyes are big, and she is looking at him. I wonder what they're thinking. So here's a good question word. What are they thinking as they're looking at this menu?
What are they thinking?
What do you think? What is the boy thinking here? His eyes are big and he's staring at the menu.
Surprised.
He's surprised. Chloe, do you want to add to that? Like, what do you think this boy or man here is thinking when he's looking at this menu?
He's thinking of food.
He's thinking of food. Do you think it's possible he's looking at the prices on the menu and he's like, uh-oh, this is more expensive than I thought. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Or he was thinking, maybe he's thinking about the chicken quesadilla. He's like, ooh, I really want chicken quesadilla. Because I noticed she's kind of looking over at him like, what's wrong? Why do you look like that? Or maybe his favorite item, his favorite Mexican food item is not on the menu. And he's like, oh man, where is it? I don't see the chicken quesadilla. It's not on the menu. So you have some choices on what direction you want to go with this. So what do you think, Harmony? What do you want to put next as far as why is he looking like that? Do you want to write about the chicken quesadilla? What do you think is happening next? I know it's a lot to think about on the spot, but
At the
Say
cheesy
what?
quesadilla.
Okay.
Or he's surprised at the cheesy quesadilla.
Okay, so let's put surprised. And Chloe, if you want to put something different, you can here. Chicken quesadilla. Uh-oh. My Spanish words. Quesadilla. Quesadilla. Queso is cheese though. Quesadilla. There you go. That's how you spell it. Surprised about the chicken quesadilla. Okay. Now I'm gonna pause on that and Harmony, you've got a good thing started here. Remember, you're gonna be probably your next question is gonna be why is he surprised? That's a good question word here. Why is he surprised at this chicken quesadilla? So, but you can finish this later when you have more time to think. I want to give Chloe a chance to talk about the second picture. So we're going to stop on the first one for now. And Chloe, go ahead and unmute. I'm going to have you tell us a little bit. Well, first of all, what are the names you chose for your characters?
Jerry and Francesca.
Jerry and Francesca. I love how you guys come up with such interesting names. That's really cute. Okay, and then tell me, looking at this middle picture, what do you see actually in that picture?
I think they're ordering their food.
Okay.
And
So,
then
go ahead.
the waiter's surprised.
Yeah, I kind of looking at his face. So this is the waiter. He's the new person in the scene now. And he's surprised. I wonder why he's surprised. That's a good question word up here. Why? Why do you think he looks surprised, Chloe?
Maybe it's because they ordered some stuff that is really expensive.
That's what I was wondering too. Good. Okay. So now I hope this isn't too confusing for you guys, but Harmony is going to continue with these characters, Tom and Angela. And Chloe, you're going to have your names of your characters and your situation. So I'm just doing this for the sake of helping you brainstorm here. But really, if you want to just listen, you can work on this after class when you have time to think about it on your own. But tell me your characters' names again, Chloe.
Jerry with one R.
Jerry with one R and a Y.
Yeah,
And then
Jessica.
Francesca. Did I spell her name right?
Yeah,
Francesca. And we have the waiter. Should we give him a name?
Toby.
Toby. I'm going to put W for the waiter, and his name is Toby. Okay. And here we have Toby surprised. Because of how much it cost. Is that right?
Yeah,
I'm going to put an up arrow and a dollar sign. Maybe that'll help you. Like it's expensive, right? Cost is expensive. So W stands for waiter, by the way. So we got Jerry with one R for Chloe, okay? Francesca, and the waiter is Toby. And then he's surprised because it's so much money, but how do you think they feel about it? What is Jerry thinking here?
He's wondering why the waiter's so surprised.
Okay, good. And then what about Francesca? What is she thinking here?
Happy. She looks happy.
I wonder if she's the one that ordered the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe she ordered like lobster or like some fancy steak or something expensive like that. You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. How about we say that Jerry is confused. We'll just put J for Jerry. Confused. And Francesca with an F is happy. Or maybe excited, right? I think you said
Yeah, excited.
excited. And then what's another word we could add there about how they're feeling? He's confused, she's excited. We could,
Um, Toby's surprised.
maybe
Yes.
Toby's thinking about, maybe Toby's hoping he's going to give a big tip.
Yeah, he's like,
Because you know when you buy a lot of food at a restaurant, usually the tip is pretty big too.
yeah.
So they're big spenders, right? So
Mhm.
okay, we can put Toby tip. Maybe it's
Yeah.
buy it, maybe he's gonna get a big tip. And so looking at this picture, maybe do you think they're celebrating something? Why are they at this restaurant? They're dating. We know that well, that was Harmony's idea. They're dating. But could it be that maybe they're celebrating something, or maybe it's a blind date? You know what a blind date is? Huh?
I think they do this all the time.
You think they
They
do
go-
it all the time? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder what's different about this time though.
They've
Um,
never gone to a restaurant before?
New restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. New restaurant. Now let's think if you get kind of stuck like I often do when I'm trying to create a story. Remember, you have these other words up here too, like what could be invisible here. So, or what is happening outside of the edge of the paper, or I mean the picture. But what I'm going to do is pause on this, and I'm going to have you guys both help me think of some ideas for this last part here. Now you're both kind of going on a different direction here, which is fine. Okay. I want you to know that both of your stories can be very, very different. And then even later, when you sit down to do your homework and you want to change it completely, that's okay with me. The whole point of this practice is just learning how to brainstorm. So this picture, now we're looking at something a little bit different. So Harmony, what's happening inside the central fact, remember, is literally what's in the picture. So what do you think is happening in this last picture here, Harmony?
Is it like the food?
She doesn't like the food. It's hard to tell. She's going, oh, so we don't know if that's a, oh my gosh, that looks awesome, or oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Like we don't really know what she's thinking, right? She's gasping, it looks like. She's got her hand there.
I think she's excited.
You think she's excited? She kind of looks like she's smiling, maybe a little bit.
It's like she's excited the food's here.
Okay, maybe she's hungry. That's true. She's
Yeah,
like anxious to eat. So Harmony, what about the boy here, the man? What do you think he's thinking? Look at his face.
he looks like, wow.
Let's see what
think
Harmony thinks first. I do want to hear what you think too, Chloe. But Harmony, what do you think on this one? What do you think the boy is thinking?
Thinks the food is.
Delicious.
Okay, he's thinking it's delicious, but she's like, I don't know if I like that. Okay, what do you think, Chloe? What is he thinking?
he's like, why did you order something so expensive?
He's like, how am I gonna pay for this, right? Okay, but literally in the picture, we see the waiter. What did you name your waiter, Harmony? Did you give that boy a name that's serving them?
What did you call the waiter?
What-
Toby.
Okay, you called him Toby too. Okay, so Toby, and what is Harmony? What is Toby holding? What is this called right here? What is he holding?
A cheesy quesadilla.
A cheesy quesadilla. It's like a little tray, right? Tray with whatever it is, cheesy quesadilla. It kind of looks small, like a cheesy quesadilla in there. It looks like it's just a little something. And he's presenting it to her. He's opening the lid so she can see what's in there. All right, you guys get the idea. So basically, you've got your Roman numerals, which is literally what's happening in the picture, and then you have 1 through 5. Together, that makes 6 sentences. So these paragraphs don't have to be super long. If you need to add more than 6, you can, okay? I want you to have fun with this. Now, like I said earlier, if you later, when you go to do this, you think of a new idea that you like better, just go with what's in your head, okay? I'm going to give you guys a choice because I've been teaching this for a while and I've learned this helps a lot of students to write it down like this, but a lot of students, this is too hard to do. So if you don't want to use your outline, you don't have to. You can just create this story as you go, okay? I want to make sure that's clear because some students, this is more stressful, trying to figure out keywords to tell what's going on in the picture. But some students, they just like to start writing. And as they're writing, they're coming up with ideas. That's okay. But you get the main idea here that you're writing about these, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And you can tell what happens after that too. If you think of ideas on what happens on their drive home. Are they mad at each other? Are they laughing about their time at the restaurant? Are they deciding they're never going to go back to that restaurant again? So you get to create whatever situation you want to create. But before you go, let's look at the checklist because that is important. That's the main part of the assignment. Right here. This is page 91. This is the main part of the assignment. This is the things that you're practicing to improve your writing, to give it more style. We're just using a different type of a story, a fun story for you to create. And we're going to do more of these, so this isn't the only one. Remember, the 4th box down at the top, if you count down 1, 2, 3, 4, clincher sentences, repeat or reflect 2 to 3 words of central fact, highlighted or bold. Remember, the central fact is also your topic. So that's something new on your checklist now is your topic clincher rule. They have to remember, they must, remember that? Repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. Let's do it together one more time. The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. And then look under your dress ups. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 words now that you're going to underline. Oh, by the way, I forgot to remind you. For the topic clincher, you're going to use a highlighter. or a box. I know that Chloe, I know you like to, sometimes you type it and sometimes you handwrite it. Which do you like better, Chloe? Do you like typing it now?
Yeah.
Writing. Yeah, okay. You can use one of the tools at the top of your document. You can choose to highlight or bold. If you need help with that, I know your brother Chase knows how to do it, and your sister Caitlin, they know how to do it, or your mom or dad, okay? Somebody can help you figure out how to highlight, but that's what you're gonna do for the topic clincher words. Here, for the dress ups, you're gonna underline those, and there's a way to do that. You're pretty good at that, Chloe, on the computer. And then don't forget you got band words here, and guess what? Eat and ate is on here now. So we also have good and bad, and we haven't really talked about those yet, I don't think. But anyway, stay away from those words. Try to think of different words. So you're going to write all 3 paragraphs this week of these pictures here. What happens to this couple? Okay, using these question words at the top to give you ideas. You guys have any questions about the homework? No questions? I hope you have fun with it. I know, Harmony, you're more like me. I like the academic part, so this part's hard for me. But just try to have fun with it. You can make it up, and if it's goofy, it's goofy. If it's funny, it's funny. If it's serious, it's serious. It doesn't matter. You guys just have fun with it, okay? And 3 paragraphs. Oh yeah, give it a title too. You can have fun with the title too. All right, you guys, we gotta go. Have a good day, and I'll see you next
Bye.
week. Bye. See you guys next week.